Yeah, what up? Revenge of the Sith. Star Wars 1Z. Thanks for watching. Doing our exponentials practice test. Also got here a little gift for my daughter's birthday coming up because she loves Star Wars. It is a R2D2 3PO dartboard. What? Star Wars. Star Wars. Oops, wrong side. Yeah. Revenge of the Sith. Hope you had a good May the 4th be with you. I also, when all this is over, bought this for my grandchildren. Have you ever played a marble run game that goes around all these slots and you can build it? That's going to be fun. Because it will end, I promise. It will end. We will be back. I'll be back. Wrong movie. And then just for fun, look, Star Trek. Oh, wrong one. That's Pez. Star Trek, no, Star Wars. Okay, so then what we're working on today, what we're working on today is, let's see here, our practice test. Getting ready for a test. Starting with problem number 1, solve for x. So this is the first thing we learned. We also learned that it's always good to factor and try to get these on the same base. So you do want definitely the same base. There we go. It's all about that base. And so this is actually 2 times 2, which is 2 squared. Right? So 4 becomes 2 squared, and then you do have an x in the exponent position. So that'll be right there. So it's 2 to the 2x is equal to 2 to the x plus 5. And now we have the same base. Remember that? And so if you have the same base, then you can just go ahead and log base 2 both sides. Remember, and that gets rid of your base. So that's log base 2, log base 2. That gets rid of your bases there. So now we just have 2x equals x plus 5. We want to get all the x on the same side. And so that means we'll just simply minus. This is just 1x because it's an x by itself. And so 2x minus 1x is just 1x, or just x. And then we'll bring down the 5. There it is, number 1. That's how you do number 1. Plug it back in. We get 5 plus 5 is 10. And let's see here. So 2 to the 10 power is going to be the same as 4 to the 5th power. That's true. So now pause me, stop watching me, and you try number 2. In fact, you should try them all. And then circle the ones you're not sure about. And then you can fast forward through this video to check your answers. And you can fast forward through this video just to the ones that you need to look at so you can be ready for the test. Nice. Okay, so then 125 and 25 both have 25 in them. And that means they probably also have 5 in them. That's right. And so 125 is actually 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 is 125. So 5 times 5 times 5, or 5 to the 3rd power. And then that's going to be times your 5/3. Nice, nice. And then 25 factors into 5 squared. Right? And then we still have our 3x there as well. So that's going to be times. So it's going to be 5 times 2 times 3 is 6x. Good. And then 3 times 5 is 15, and 15 divided by 3 is just 5. Or you can see the 3's canceled, we just get 5. So now that's 5 to the 5th power. And now our bases are the same. And so we can go ahead and log base 5, both sides. Awesome. So that leaves us just 5 equals 6x. And then we just want to solve for x. So we're going to go ahead and divide by 6, divide by 6. And so we get x equals 5, 6. And so on the, whatchamacallit, so on the answer thing for Canvas, if you're using that this year, it's going to be like 5 divided by 6, like that. Cool. Okay, number 3, mark all that are equivalent. You could use your calculator and go through that. I'm supposed to teach you to do it where you bring it all down to the same base. And so, let's see. So 8, well, that's kind of tricky actually, huh? No, 8 works. So how does 8 break down into, because I see a 2 here maybe, and a 2, and 4 is always factor into 2. So 8 factors into 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. Nice. So then 8 is actually 2 to the third power is what 8 is. And so you're going to times that by your 5/3. Nice, nice. Bring down the 5/3. Oh, and the 3's cancel. So you're just left with 2 to the 5th power, which is 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. Again, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. Yep. So that's what we're looking for. Is any of these going to be 32? Let's find out. Well, 2 to the 5th power, we just figured out, is what this is, and I see it right there. Is that the only answer? Maybe. There might be more. So this breaks down into 2 squared times 10/3. And then 2 times 10 is 20/3. And so 2 to the 20/3 is definitely not 2 to the 5th. So that doesn't work. This would be 2 to the 2/3 plus 2 to the 1st power times 2 to the 1st power. So you add your powers, and so that becomes like 2 to the 5/3 when you add those, because that's 3/3 plus 2/3, 5/3. Yeah, so that's not going to work either. This one works. What about this one? Well, 2 to the 4 breaks down into 2 times 2. And so that's 2 squared times your 5/2. Oh, the 2's cancel, because that's 2 times 5 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So then it's 2 to the 5th power, which is the same. So our answer is C and D. Our answer is C and D for number 3. So C and D. Cool. Let's look for that. Okay, so number 4 and 5 on Canvas. So I'm going to use Desmos or use our graphing calculator. So on Canvas, you're going to find the answers to freebie, because I didn't have time or way to put that in so easily with just checking your answers for the practice test, getting ready for the test. So just look for that freebie answer. If using your graphing calculator, you just type in 3 times 0.75 to the caret symbol, x power, and then make sure we're zoom 6 in it, which is your zoom standard graph, 10 by 10 graph. And there she blows. Ooh, so 0.75 is less than 1. What does that mean? It means decay. Interesting. So at 3, it looks like our y-intercept is going to be at 3. Right. Awesome. If we're being more exact, we'd go to the second table and just see some coordinates there. So at -3, it's 7.1. At -3, it's 7.1. Okay, so this thing is just going to go ahead and decay. Nice. Okay, so for that, there's that one. If you don't have a graphing calculator for the test, you can still use Google and just use Desmos. Desmos.com is really awesome. So Desmos, start graphing. And then let's see what our problem is again. It's 3 times, we'll do the next one. So 2, oh, this is going to be increasing now, right? So it's going to be more of a this type of thing, because 1.5 is bigger than 1. And so remember, this is your rate. Remember that 1.5 when we get to the word problems? So this is your rate, and since it's greater than 1, it's going to be growth, right? It's going to be growth. Since this one, the rate is 0.75, is less than 1, then we did decay. There we go. Let's move that over. You like that? Okay, so now we're going to go 2 times 1.5 to the x power. So we're going to go y equals, or you can use your keyboard here, y equals. Okay, so it's, what was it again? So 2 parentheses 1.5 close parenthesis to the x power, so we're looking for exponent now. Probably a to the b is what you're going to use there. Yep, there it is. To the x power. And there it is. So we have a y-intercept at 2. So it's going to come up along the 2 and take off. So y equals 2 times 1.5 to the x power. And so right about there. And then if we want to get even more detailed, we can. Kind of see we're at 2. How high up does it go? Oh, about 4.5 or so. So right about there. Okay, so this sucker's going to come along, and it's going to come up and exponentially grow. Okay, so again, just look for the easy freebie answer there. But I think there's one of those matching on the test. Okay, now we're going to go and rewrite in log form. Okay, so this one looks a little tricky. It's not too bad. Let's do 7 first. So right now it's exponential, and so we want to rewrite it in log form, because right now it's exponential. So we want to make it L. That's the same thing. So the base is A, and so the base always stays the same. It's all about that base, right? So base A is going to be log base A then. So log base A of our solution, which is C, is equal to B. And on Canvas, the answer I put there was log and then base A of C, or C, equals B. And so that's how I did in the answer there on Canvas. Okay, number 6, rewrite in log form. Well, first of all, you got to know about cube roots. You got to know about writing powers as fractions, but we'll get you there. So basically, this is a 5. Write it down. We got to write this in a. We got to write. So we got to. Wow. So we got to rewrite this in cubic form first. Form first with a fraction for powers. Okay, so then this is 5x, right? So this is 5x. So squared, cool. And so this is the first power, this is a squared power, and then all of it's to the third root, but then what you got to do is you got to like connect these together. So it's actually 5 to the 1/3, right? Cubic is a fraction, and then x to the 2/3, right? X squared becomes 2/3 because of the cubic root. Cool. So then we'll say that equals y. So it says to rewrite it in logarithmic form. That means to like log both sides like this. And probably they want you to expand it too if you can. So here we go. So now we're going to expand it. So this is multiplication. And so then we're going to put the 1/3 in front. So we're going to go 1/3. You remember how to expand? Or no, condense, I mean. So 1/3 log. Good. And it's just base 10 because they didn't give us a base, so just assume base 10. So log, and so 5, so that's done, right? Because you put the 1/3 in front. And then what does times become? Times becomes addition. There we go. So 1/3 log base 5, times becomes addition plus, and then 2/3 goes in front, and you have another log because log is being expanded into 2 logs as multiplication becomes addition. So 2/3 logs x, and then there's our answer. There's our expanded, rewrite as a logarithm. There we go. Okay, awesome. So look for that with lots of parentheses. Let's see here, number 8. So number 8, ooh, we're gonna have to condense that sucker. So we have an addition. So that, oh, sorry. So this was expanding. Sorry. So this was expanding. Right, logs. And now we're going to go ahead and condense them. Okay, so then we all have the same base. That's important. We have base 6, base 6, base 6. That's good. So we're going to go and condense them all into one log base 6 now. Expanding, you get more logs. Condensing, you're just condensing down to 1 log base 6. Okay, so here's the crazy part now. So you're going to do the x minus 1 in parentheses. And then, do you remember what addition becomes? The opposite addition in logarithms? Multiplication. So addition becomes, pause many times, try it on your own. X minus 1 times 4. Then what does subtraction become? Subtraction becomes division. Okay, so then we're going to do subtract becomes division, and then log base 6 goes there, and then 3x goes in the bottom. Okay, and then really last but not least, we're going to multiply that together to condense it more. So we have log base 6, 4 times x is 4x, and then 4 times negative 1 is a negative 4. And then all divided by 3x. Awesome, there's our answer. So now you try. You give it a try. So condensing now, we have addition becoming multiplication, and subtraction becoming division again. Give it a try. No, you. No, you. No, you. Yeah, give it a try. Well, the first thing you want to denote is we are going to have to put the powers back in front because we're condensing. So that x is going to become an x squared. This 7 is going to become a 1/3. So those are done. That's really like the first step is to do exponents. PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents. Okay, next we're going to go, they all have the same base, log base 9, log base 9. That's important. Okay, so now we're going to do condensing. So 1 log base 9 is going to become, so x squared. And then addition becomes multiplication. Shout out to my wife, who's mowing my lawn right now, front lawn. Thank you, Lorraine. Okay, sorry, just had to shout out to her. Okay, so addition becomes multiplication. So we have log base 9x squared times 7 to the 1/3, because the addition becomes multiplication. And then divided by, because subtraction becomes division. So then divided by 5 minus x. And so I think that's, yep, that's the right answer. I think all I did on my answer key was just switch and put the number first. So I did like log base 9, 7 to the 1/3. That could be technically the cube root of 7 actually, to condense it all the way. But I think I just did 7 and I did a caret symbol. So 7 to the 1/3. And then x squared, all divided by 5 minus x. Which really is x minus negative x plus 5, but either way is fine. Okay, cool. So there's number 9. Hope this is making sense to you. Ace it on the test, you can do this. Okay, number 10. Use a calculator to approximate the nearest thousandths place. Okay. So then you could use like log base calculator if you don't have a graphing. If you do have a graphing, then you can go to the math button. First, let me describe this to you. So what you're actually doing is you're doing log base 4, right? And 16 equals some number. So I could actually do this one by hand. I actually don't even need the calculator for this one, but the other two I do. Because now if you turn it into exponential, it's going to be 4 to the x power equals 16. And so that means something, 4 to the something power equals 16. Well, 4 squared equals 16. So in this case, x would just equal 2. So the answer is 2. Prove 2 with the graphing calculator. So if you have a graphing calculator, right, then you're going to go to the math button, and you're going to go all the way down to log base. Watch the rocks, honey. Log base, and that's it. You log base 4, and then 16, push enter. And so that gives us 2. Woohoo! Nice one. So then we could do the same thing with the next one, and then we'll show you how to use just Google if you don't have a graphing calculator. So log base 5, 3 is going to give us 0.6826, 0.6826, because again I just typed it onto my calculator, and that's what I got. Log base 5, 3 is 0.6826. So we have to round that to the nearest thousandths place. So it's tens, hundreds, thousandths. So that 2 is going to round up and become a 3. So 0.683. And there we go. So I'll show you on just using Google if you don't have a graphic calculator for the test. So you just go to like, I don't know, like log base calculator. Just type that in, log base calculator, and that'll help you out as well. So I really like calculator.net. That's my fave right now. So log base something to the something equals something. And so let's try log base 5, 3. So we'll go log base 5, 3. And that gives us the same thing, 0.6826, which rounds up to 0.683. Nice, 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 nice. If you go to scientific calculator, then that's where you can find ln. And so the next problem is just ln of 51, which is 3.93. Is that right? Yes, I'm an amazing person, I hope. ln 51. Nice. So using Desmos, go to scientific calculator, or calculator.net, use scientific calculator, use ln. So ln of 51 equals 3.931. Ooh, round to the 100,000th place, 3.932. So we'll go 3.932 because that's round to the nearest thousandths place. So again, on the graphing calculator, it's just below the log button, it's ln, which is just log base e. So that's 3.932. There we go. So that gives us a different answer. What the? Oh yeah, sorry, we're doing ln of 51, weren't we? Sorry. So ln of 51 is 3.932. Yep, that's the right answer. Beautiful. So there it is, 3.932. Nice. And so again, that's for ln of 51. Nice. Okay, so probably need to go to the next video because these are getting kind of long. So thanks for watching. See you in a second. Revenge of the Fifth. And no, start small. Thanks for watching. See you in a second.